Hey everyone, welcome back to another Misfits Live. I'm here with my man Rick the Flipper,
Rick the Flipper.
and we have a guest backstage right now. I'm going to bring him on. A man who has my favorite name on YouTube, and that is Warren B in CL8. Hey
What
Warren,
is up, my happy friends? What is going on, guys?
how's
How
the
we
weather
doing?
in Cleveland?
Today was 73 degrees, but
Nice.
next week is going to be snow and 30s. So
Oh really?
it's that
I
time of
don't I
year.
don't I don't miss that kind of weather. I moved to the sun.
Well, next time I'm in Charleston, I'm calling you. So we'll
Absolutely,
make it.
absolutely. Hey guys, Hodges. I don't know if you saw Hodges. I had left you a message. Joe Wood Collector, how are you? The dads are here. Orlando.
All right.
Has anybody ever been on a live where they didn't see Orlando?
No,
I'm convinced he's more than one person. I'll go from live to live. He's in every one of them. Every one of
he's everywhere, man. He's everywhere.
them.
But on short notice, I, c- I actually came prepared. I have lots of randomness for all of us and lots of cards. So
Okay, good.
we got we
So Rick,
we can have some fun here right now.
It looks like John
And
has lots of cards behind him,
I
right?
have a few back there.
Just a
just a
few.
bit. Yeah,
Rick,
yeah.
you picked up some new things, right? You wanted to show?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Let's do it.
all right. So, let's see here. You know, I'm still collecting pre-war, but the prices on some of these 50s cards are pretty incredible. And when I go to the national each year, every year, 50s and 60s, I just keep walking because I can see them any day of the week. I might stop if there's a weird size card, that's not a tops or
Yeah, yeah.
Bowman card, but I keep on walking looking for the pre-war year after year. And just recently trying to build up my 50s Bowman, especially Bowman. I was always a snob when it came to tops or Bowman. So mainly I'm a tops guy over the years. And man, you can get some good deals nowadays on Hall of Famers, low grade cards that look great under $100. And you really can't do that Hall of Famer pre-war wise. Everything is definitely above $100. So I've been just slowly but surely picking up. So one card I never had was the 55 Bowman Yogi Berra.
Sweet.
Sweet
Well
card.
centered, and
Beautiful.
it does have some corner issues, but there's no creases. It looks great for a two, and I picked this up for like $40.
Oh,
Where can you pick up a $40 Hall of Famer? When
It's
I'm getting it,
unbelievable.
I'm thinking, geez, that's a steal of a deal.
That card
Uh,
was more in 2014.
yeah, so I just thought that was really cool. I never was a fan of these, the television ones, over the years, but that's probably why I don't have this one
I
before.
love that
But
set.
do you
yeah,
really? Even from the
Yeah,
beginning, even from the beginning, huh?
yeah. And
I've always
Years
loved that
ago, you
set. When
just
I
loved the set. I just didn't. I don't know. You would think I
Yeah,
would, because I'm always
years
saying
ago when I
everything's
had a chance,
oddball. Well, this is
I
kind
was
of
excited.
not your standard card. And so I thought it was
Yeah,
a
no,
I
great
see,
have
pickup.
I have a
For
near
here's that
set.
photo.
I got to
do you really?
checklist it and find out what cards I need. I have all the big ones. Now I just got to narrow it down. And I never picked up any of the umpire cards because I never wanted to spend money on them.
Yeah. How many cards are in the set?
I don't know off the
Roughly.
top of my head.
There's not a lot. I mean, it's not like your typical.
I
No,
can't
it's not
recall.
like your typical tops, but
Yeah.
even the 1955 tops doesn't have that many cards in that set.
Yeah.
That's a smaller set.
I
Right.
have the maze, of course, over here, but I just don't have a lot of them. So I thought that was a good deal to pick up. What the heck?
I love that card. I mean, great Yogi Berra.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, you buy it off eBay. You really don't. One thing I do on especially a more expensive card is I'll go to the SGC website or PSA website and look it up, the certification number, to see if I get a better picture. And
Yeah.
most of the time I do, and just to compare. So I didn't see.
Did you ever go onto that website and see some crease or something that wasn't visible and didn't buy it after you looked at the cert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the?
Do you do that, Warren?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
You do
all the
that too?
time. All the time.
Yeah, because a lot of these people, not the big ones like Probstein or Greg Morris, but some of these
Right.
people that do it on the side, some of their pictures are just not very good.
No, they're
Well,
horrible.
like if I were
What
to
do you
do it
do,
once,
man?
so
Yeah.
you really need to, I'm not too much for a lower end. I mean, this is a Hall of Famer card, but I only pay like $40 for it. But
No.
I didn't see, even if it has a crease, I don't see it on, so that type of thing. But I always, I definitely look all the time. Look up the
Yeah,
certification number.
I'm not scared to death of creases. Most of those little tiny creases that give a card a 2 when you have
Yeah.
one with great eye
I
appeal,
mean,
you
if I
can't
can
see
see
it
it on
anyway.
there,
That's
if
maybe
I
you
can
put it under
see
a
it.
light and at
Yeah,
a
yeah.
certain
That's
angle.
that type of thing. That
Yeah.
type of thing.
And John texted me like 30 minutes before we were coming on. Hey, you want to come on Misfits? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Well, you definitely picked the right guy because I love bargains and I love Hall of Fame bargains and all kinds of fun stuff. So we hit the right MO right now. So
You have
But,
any 55 Bowmans?
not handy.
No, but do you have any?
I have
Not
I
to
have
show.
one, and it's I want to see, is it Bob Lemon?
Oh, that's a good one to have.
Yeah, I think it's Bob Lemon. I have. I'm trying to remember. I have so much stuff.
So
I
from
can
the
never
early
remember.
50s, early
I
to
still
mid
try to work on organizing everything, but just fun. But thank you guys for having me on. Just having a good old
thanks
time.
for
And,
joining. Thanks for
yeah,
joining.
man, good.
So
I can't wait.
those early 50s cards, what do you prefer? You prefer the tops or the Bowman, or have no preference?
I honestly, it's the card. It doesn't matter tops or Bowman. I love the 53 colors. I love my favorite top set. I have two. 53 tops is my favorite, and then 65 as well. Those two sets just speak to me. And yes, I'm going to say it here. I'm not a Mantle guy. I don't need a Mantle card. If I
They
ever,
just wait. They just I think YouTube just shut down the live stream.
would I enjoy having one? Sure, but I don't seek them out. I seek out other players. I prefer Clemente. I'd rather have Musial over Mantle any day. I'd rather have Ted Williams over Mantle. But would I pass out a Mantle card up? No, of course not. But I don't prefer Mantle. He just was never my guy. He was never my dad's guy. He was never my grandfather's guy. I love Mazeroski.
Me too.
I know he's a lower end Hall of Famer. I don't care.
Oh man, don't insult Bill like that.
No, he means the world
I
to
used
me.
to drink with him on occasion. He's a good guy.
He means the world to me. And here, I'll pull this down. There you go. Look at this. You got Mazeroski,
Yeah.
Elroy Face.
My cat. Oh, you can't walk on my
and
computer,
Bobby
buddy.
Hammons.
Very cool.
Yeah, Elroy Face is another one.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
I don't like the term low tier Hall of Famer. You're either a Hall of Famer or you're not.
No. Well, I said that in jest.
Yeah.
Look at this 60 Fleer Roy face.
Yep.
Look
Fabulous
at
card.
that. Gorgeous. Front and back. It's a PSA 10, by the way. I'm calling it.
You know, there's only one guy who won more consecutive games in a row than he did.
You know what? I can't
Did you know
think
that?
about it right now. Who's that?
Carl Hubble.
No kidding.
He won 24 consecutive over 2 seasons.
Oh,
Elroy Face there won 22, I believe.
right.
He's second on the consecutive games list. And then
That's
there's a bunch
outstanding.
of people tied for third. Garrett Cole, Rube Marquard, some others.
Well, I got to.
What about you, Rick? Do you have any Mantle cards?
Stop
I
it.
do have Mantle cards, but
I
not
don't
as
know if
many
he
as you
does.
probably.
He only
Not as many as you
Mays
probably
and Babe
think.
Ruth.
Yeah, I definitely have more
Mathewson
Babe.
and
Put it this
Ty
way,
Cobb.
more Ruth and Cobb cards than I do Mantle cards for sure. Because I never was. I mean, all the respect to Mantle, but I'm a West Coast guy, and so when I was a kid, those are almost like fighting words. When I was 10, 12 years old,
Yeah.
Right.
Mantle Mays, and I was 100% Mays. So it never was a Mantle, and I would pick up more of his cards, but they're so darn expensive that
Yeah.
I just don't want to do it. Just want to
I
spend
was
my.
always
Why do you think they're so expensive and people go so much more goo over those than any other cards? It's like if you're on I'm in a Facebook group, and I'm sure many people are, and when you go and see the cards that are for sale, it's like every other post is a Mantle of some sort. I mean, they had 352 Mantles on there yesterday, at one time.
Well,
Why do you think it's so much more than a Mays or an Aaron or Clemente?
Well, I think part of showing Mantle off, and I'm going to try to be about as PC as I can. It's about who has the biggest card, if you get my drift. Hey, man, I love Mantle, and Mantle is great.
But why do you think he got his cards got so expensive? My theory is the 52 Mantle jacked up all the rest of the cards, because I saw it happen, years and years ago when the P206 Hannes Wagner started selling. When it sold for over $1 million, all of a sudden all his other cards really went up in value. And back then, I remember being able to pick up like Ty Cobb's less than Wagner, because everybody wanted a Wagner card back then.
Right. I think it's more the mystique of it. But I mean, in all honesty, if I wanted a Mantle card, I want the 51.
I like the 51 too.
It's not a rookie card, folks. Get over it. It's not. We all know that by now. But there's still people that keep saying it, and it's not. No.
Well, they want it to be. I don't know if they're trying to justify
They want it to
the
be
price or what.
it
does have significance in that it's his first Topps card.
Yes.
And some people only want Topps.
And it's a high number, and I get it.
Yeah, but the Willie Mays is a high number, almost identical pops, and it goes for a tiny fraction of what the Mantle goes for.
I'm with Rick. I would rather have the Mays because that's who my dad loved, and Clemente. And yes, I'm going to say Clemente multiple times. You'll hear it, but my dad was always more Mays than Mantle, because Mantle was always hurt and he didn't like the way he carried himself, but he always felt Mays carried himself better than Mantle did. So those are the memories that I have. So that's why I don't care. Yes, I would love to have a Mantle, but I don't need one. I don't want.
So what are you saying, Warren?
What's that?
So what are you saying? Is there a Mickey Mantle on your want list? I'm just joking.
There's only one. The only mantle I would ever want.
The 51.
No, the
Nope.
53.
Yeah, it's
I
beauty.
truly believe that, in my opinion, that's his most beautiful card. In my opinion, I would want a 53. And yes, I have the 1991 Topps Archives 53 replica. You know what I mean? I love that set, and I will cherish that set forever. And I have like 15 mantles. I don't care. I love it.
Hey,
But
Rick, what's your
it's so
favorite
bad.
mantle?
What's
I think,
that?
I think 53 would be. I don't have a 53.
That's your favorite too?
I think so. I think so. I mean,
I
my
knew I
favorite's
liked you for
probably
Rick.
53, and one that's not very appealing to most people, but it's my first Mano would be the 67, where his head takes up the whole
That
car.
was my first mantle.
That was
I
my
bought it as a
first.
kid.
So always I have that card, and I will not sell it. I will not flip it, but it means something more to me than, even though I probably, if it's not the most beautiful card in the world, but 53,
No, but
53 would be.
yeah, there's just something about that card. I think it's more beautiful than the 52.
Yep,
But
everybody
that's what makes
has
this hobby so.
their favorites. I
Yeah.
would go 51's my favorite mantle card, the 51
And,
Bowman. And my
and
second favorite mantle card, no one ever picks, is the 53 Bowman. I love that card.
fair enough. Fair statement. But I'm going to throw another wrench in here. 1989 Bowman reprints did the 51 mantle,
Yep.
and I loved it. And I have many of them.
Have the set in the binder.
I love it. And they had the Williams. There's other
I
reprints.
love that they put the old cards in there, because when you're a kid, you get to learn about those old cards, and you get to learn about those old players. They had a Satchel Paige, Duke Snyder, I think a Yogi Berra, a Mays. They include those old players. A lot of times, like when you go back to the 1976 set, and they had the Sporting News all-time All-Stars. That's
One of my
where
favorite sets.
you can learn about Mickey Cochran and Rogers Hornsby's in there, Pie Trainer. So you get to learn about those old players, because not everybody knows about these. There's so many, and many of them Hall of Famers. So many old players, and many of them Hall of Famers that nobody wants. I mean, you can pick up their cards for next to nothing. Many people haven't heard of them. I mean, how many? If you go to a card show and ask around and see how many people heard of Chick Hafey, probably not a lot.
Yeah. And that's even a name that I forgot about. But I mean, I know the name, but
yeah, even like an early in Lombardi, guys of that caliber.
Exactly. They're not ingrained into the whole genre of baseball in the way the bigger market looks at things. And I think it's a shame. And I think that's where baseball and the Hall of Fame really needs to promote themselves better and show off.
I was having a conversation today, and I was saying that I show these players, and I try to give some history and everything. And it used to, I don't know what the right word is, maybe frustrate me a little bit that people don't know these players, and they're players I've always wanted to collect, because I want to collect all the great baseball players, and not so great baseball players in some cases. But I can't make people want to know the history of the game. I can't make people want to know how good Rogers Hornsby was, or Hank Greenberg, or whatever. If it's just the modern hobby is all about the cards you see over and over and over again. Once you see them, you're seeing them, so you want them, and you're not wanting. I was on Dr. Beckett's podcast, and this is what we were talking about. He and I are the same in that we want the cards we never saw. So when we go to a card show, we want the cards we hadn't seen before. But most people want the cards they see every day. you know, every auction, every book, every magazine, every YouTube video, every Facebook page, whatever.
No,
Rick, you like the obscure, don't you?
I'm sorry.
You like the obscure cards, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's why Mantle. You know, people see Mantle cards all the time. People have Mantle. They talk up Mantle, and if you're FOMO, you know, I got to have a Mantle. Somebody else has them. My friend has a Mantle. I got to have a Mantle, even though you really don't collect Mantle, but you got to have a Mantle because you see it every day, or you see it at every video or every card show. Mantle, 52. Not that you're going to afford a 52, but you want a Mantle.
Yeah,
So-
and I think you know, there's this phenomenon that cards are different than the game, and cards can be different than the players too. So you're wanting those cards, many people, uh, mainly because of value. You know, young kids coming in who don't know any of the old players, but they know that 52 Mantle, so they want Mantle cards. They don't know anything about them. They can't tell you how many World Series he won or anything about him, probably, but they know that his cards sell for a lot of money, and
Right.
I think that drives. I think it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy that, you know, the more that's believed, the higher they go in price. And all these other guys you can pick up for next to nothing, like you just said, Rick. And I've been noticing this for a couple of years now. If it's not the big cards, a lot of stuff I collect, I'm getting for a tiny fraction. I mean, they're low pops, they're rare beauties, and I mean, I'm getting them then, you know, prospects. It just blows my mind.
No, let me ask you this. I have no idea. So I picked this up like $40. Okay, what would a Mantle be in a 2, roughly? I have no idea.
I don't know. Who knows in the chat? Probably, I don't know, $700, $1,000.
That's
I see
crazy.
at least 1,000,
Crazy.
1,200,
Yeah,
It's
maybe more than
crazy.
that. I don't know.
probably
Yeah,
more.
I mean, even in beat up condition.
Yeah.
I saw this Mickey Mantle, the 52. It was beat to hell and back. Crease like right down here, creases here. I mean, it was an awful copy. And I don't know, the asking price was in like the 30 in the 30s. And I'm like, who would pay $30-some thousand for that? It's different to me, for me, this is for me. It would be different if it was like a Wagner because there are so few of them. But I mean, you could buy a Mickey Mantle, a 52 Mantle any day of the week, all day, all night, whenever you want to spend that money. So it's not like you don't have choices where that beat up one's the only one you're ever going to find, you know? And if you have the money to pay $35,000 for a card, you probably have the money to pay $45,000 for a card.
Sure. Which makes, I mean, total sense. But it's the mystique. It's the stories. It's the media that has driven Mantle to the point where he is what he is. But, you know, the movie 61, which I know you guys have seen, and it to me, it put Mantle in a different light, and it actually showed. And, you know, we could talk about Ball 4, the book, and all that kind of stuff, but to me, it's just the mystique of Mantle. And if
Well,
there was
that's what sells. I mean, it's the mystique of Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb. We
right,
never watched them play.
but
You
even
talk about mystique. How about Josh Gibson? I mean,
exactly,
he's hit 1,000-foot home runs. He only struck out 16 times in his entire career, according to the stats. You want to talk
right,
about
right,
mystique? But that's what you know. That's what us vintage collectors do. We never saw these guys have bad games. We got to see Aaron Judge drop a ball in the World Series. We got to see Juan Soto throw like my mother. His arm is so weak. I don't know why he's in right field. We didn't get to see the old guys have bad games or bad years. All we have is that mystique. right? And modern guys, we get to see their flaws along with their greatness. And
But-
so all these old guys that we didn't get to see play really are that mystique. And Mantle's like that for most of us. I never got to see him play.
No, but when we talk about it, but my dad did see him play, and my dad saw Clemente play in Forbes Field and throw from right field to home plate and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I have. That's why
Yeah,
to me,
I'm the same way. I mean, my dad was
exactly.
told me how great Clemente was, but he felt Willie Mays was the greatest of all time.
But I still have the earlier stories of his dad telling of earlier guys from the Pirates and Indians and Spiders and name
Yeah,
it.
there are a lot of people from New York, and their dads told them about Mantle.
But it's all about just spreading the word and passing things down and all that. That's what this whole hobby is all about. And my kids, they don't want any of my stuff, but they know who Babe Ruth is. They know who Mickey Mantle is. They know Clemente because it's part of American culture, and that's what makes what we do, I think, important. Even doing what we're doing now, even though we're just bullshitting and we're just sitting here talking cards and being nerds, but to me, we're helping spread history and sharing our thoughts and what's important to us. And yeah, I got a few more cards. I got cards to show. This one in particular, and I shared this. Here's how much of a nerd I am. This card cost me $1.50. 1960 Gil Hodges. It's a gorgeous image of Gil. But there's paper loss because somebody loved it enough to tape it to their wall. And yes, I used a Mookie Chilson reference. But I love this card. This is my first Gil Hodges card ever.
Yeah.
And I found it. And I found it in a dollar box, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why the hell would I pass this card up? And many people.
How you were able to find that for $2 less than I pay.
Yeah, it's missing a piece. I don't care.
Raleigh tip.
The card is near perfect centering. I don't care. I love it. And I'm happy because I got to watch Home Run Derby on ESPN and see Gil Hodges and all these guys go at it, Willie Mays and Mantle and all these guys on Home Run Derby, which is another set that I'm going to start building, is that Home Run Derby set. But
good luck.
So
That's expensive. That set blew up. You have Willie Mays, right, Rick?
Yeah. I have Willie Mays, but that's it.
Yeah. I only have one from that set. I have an Ernie Banks, and I wanted it because card dealerships used to stamp their name on the back.
Yeah.
And I found one from my hometown, Route 30 in Greensburg. I think I found one from my hometown. It had my local car dealership, so I had to get.
Was that car dealership a Chevrolet?
I think it was. Oh, I'm drawing a blank now.
That's okay. I remember some.
It wasn't Chevy though.
Chevrolet.
I think it was like Etzel or one of those old cars that aren't around anymore. I think Studebaker. I think it was Studebaker.
Oh.
All right. Well, you guys are.
I believe so.
Reaching deep, but Rick, you got anything new to show or anything else to show off or what?
Yeah. So
I think you got something big.
No, it's just small. Here's a 57 Ted Williams.
One of my favorite Ted cards, by the way. I do not have one, but I want one.
I'm on a Ted Williams kick right now. I just picked up the 48 Leaf recently. I don't have it in its authentication right now in Los Angeles. But I'm on a Ted Williams kick, and so anyway, I didn't have this one before, but
That's a great card.
All right. So
Looks
I'm
nice.
totally
I
gonna
have
skip
I,
it.
I have that near set too. I need to check this to see the final ones I need. I have all the big ones, man. That 57 set is just loaded with rookies. Holy cow!
I picked this one. Oh, go ahead. You want to show it?
No, go ahead, Rick. Show it. Oh, Rocky Calavito. Yep.
Yeah.
You said it. I had to show it. It was just sitting here. So
I have my maze. I got some, but I didn't have the Ted Williams. But I mean, it was really inexpensive. Like I said, I started with this. I'm so used to paying like a T206 Frank Chance or whatever, portrait. That's even a beater, and you're talking $150, $200.
Yeah.
And this is presentable. It's probably, John loves the grades, but probably a 2, and got it for under $100, So I mean,
so you're moving to get more cards in the 50s.
Yeah, I'm trying to fill in the cards I don't have, or maybe they look better than the ones I do have, because anything I have that I collected as a kid is like it's been run over, which is fine. But I'm just trying to kind of fill in the gaps of my collection right now until something comes up that's rare, something like a Chrissy Mathewson or something like that. But I don't know. You kind of you get in this mindset of, hey, look at these. Maybe I'll start collecting these now, or I don't know.
But that makes it fun,
right?
Makes
it fun
the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, so this one's a little bigger card, and it's a 39 play ball Joe DiMaggio.
Oh,
beautiful.
So it's
gorgeous.
Gorgeous. And what I like is the black background. It really stands. A lot of these are faded, or just weren't printed like this one. So presents really well.
Yeah, I never really thought about it, Rick, but that pops with that black.
Yeah, a lot of them, even higher grade ones, sometimes they just don't pop with the black background, Maybe it's just the way, they were printed, obviously, or some fade over the years, but
or they had them displayed out and sitting in sunlight or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my big purchase in the past month here.
Well, that's fancy, but do you have a Cal Ripken Holiday Inn card?
No, but I've been looking for that card, John. You're killing me. Killing me, Small.
I thought I was the only one that wanted that card.
All right, here's one for you. I'm throwing it way out of left field here. This just came a couple days ago. 1959 Fleer, Three Stooges.
Three Stooges.
In a 6.5.
That's fitting.
This is number 80. Just those guys. I love the image, man. Fantastic 6.5. But I've been working on building that set. Now, obviously, number 1, 2, and 3 are stupid pricey because it's them individually. Curly, Mo, and Larry, number 1, 2, and 3. But I got a few more.
It brings back my childhood. Heck, I can watch those guys right now.
Oh, I love them. My mother hated them.
Oh, for sure.
She goes, I hate them. But she still loved them. I watched them.
I was the oldest of, there was 4 boys in the family. So I watched that. I can pound my younger siblings,
Right on. Come on, meathead. Hey, wake up and
got poked in the eye because hit over the head with a hammer.
Exactly.
Here I have what's sure to be a first ballot Hall of Famer here. Miggy Auto.
Oh, hell yeah. That's fantastic.
This is what is this number 250? I think 50.
That's
Who's that?
awesome.
Clayton Kershaw Mini Auto. The lighting on these live streams are terrible. You can't show cards. StreamYard needs to do something better. Every time somebody shows cards on StreamYard, I can't see them. So what's the hobby topic these days? Haven't been paying much attention.
I haven't. I try to stay out of the BS when it comes to the drama, the hobby drama.
Well, I'm not asking about drama, just hobby news.
No. I just think people need to freaking relax and just enjoy what you have. And
what are you talking about? This is social media. You just insulted everybody.
they'll get over it. They can unsubscribe me. That's fine.
The New World Order invented social media to have us all at each other's throats.
But just, it's supposed to be fun. Relax. Enjoy what you have. Look behind me. Every day I come down here.
Are you telling me how to collect? Is that what you're doing right now?
No. I'm saying enjoy.
Maybe I don't want to enjoy my cards.
Then we can't be friends. No, but every day I come down here in this room, all of my stress goes away. Every day.
Yep, I would always say the same thing. In fact, I used to have like 37 conference calls a week, and it was just awful. And I would if I didn't have to be some of my calls, I didn't have to be that active on and paying attention every minute. And I would just walk in, I start looking at cards or open a box while I have my earbuds in, and just look through cards while I'm on conference call. If I'm stressed out, just walk into my room and look around and chill out.
And that's why I no longer manage people, John. I managed people for 27 years. I traveled around the country and opened businesses and did all that kind of stuff. Now all I do is weld metal all day. And I come home with a peace of mind. And I come home to this every day. And
You're
I'm
blessed. We're all blessed.
It's actually grateful that I'm the man I am now from what I used to be, because of not just cards, but I changed the way I do things, the way I think. But cards after COVID and all that stuff, because that's when we all really got back into it, right?
Well, some of you did.
Yes. But I had nothing to do. I had 2 hip replacements during COVID. I really had nowhere to go. So I got back into my cards, and it opened everything back up again. And then once I discovered this right here, it opened up a whole new world. Now I have a lot more friends, and it just changed everything.
Yep.
Because
it says that
we no longer collect alone. We can share our thoughts. We can text each other. I mean, hell, it was the biggest surprise to me to get a text from John Mangini, the hobby president. Yes, I'm going to bust your balls, but whatever. Hey, you want to come on Misfits tonight? And I'm like, sure. I'm like, did I just say sure? I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course. Just send me the link. I'll be on. And I really apologize for my voice, guys, but it's just been hoarse, whatever.
That's all right. So let's get on to some card talk. Rick, you have any cards you're targeting?
Hey, I got a couple more cards to show you. What are you talking about?
Oh, you want to show some? Go ahead. Nobody watches.
Now, this is an oddball card. Who wants to see an oddball card? 59 Tony Kubek.
All right.
Yoo-hoo.
No
With
kidding.
the tab.
Hold on,
Wow.
let me zoom in on you. That's a beauty. That it's hard to find them with the tab there, with the coupon. Is that a coupon?
Yeah, right down here.
That's awesome.
Cut off here. So definitely an oddball card right here. And so I had to pick this up. I never had one. I didn't have one before. So I think Whitey Ford is a big card in the set.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking about this. There's a mantle that surfaced.
Really?
And like many of us were like, there's no mantle in that set. But apparently there's a mantle. And I don't know what you would like. I've been talking to people. Is that thing real? Is it just is it a separate set? So apparently a mantle surfaced. But the big card was the Yogi Berra before the mantle surfaced.
Okay.
So
yeah, I never knew there was a mantle in the set. Like I said, I think it might be its own card. I'm not sure if it was part of that particular set or not. And they also have like bottle with Yoo-hoo bottle with. By the way, who loved Yoo-hoos growing up? Man, I loved those things. I had one as an adult, and it wasn't quite as good as I remember it. I have to be honest. But they have a bottle with Yogi on it, and then they have bottle caps. You can get bottle caps with his face on it.
Yep.
What else? Rick?
Say, hey,
you remember this? Just when you're saying what things you like drink wise. How about a Slurpee checklist?
Oh, nice. I got all kind of Slurpee discs behind me.
That's the stuff I love right there. I love that stuff.
We got a little McCovey,
I love that stuff
Bob
too.
Gibson, Yaz down at the bottom. I remember these guys, man.
How long have you had
bigger
a
version of them, right by the cups, and you would have like a checklist, and you would, whatever.
I don't ever remember the checklists. I just get they would give you one of those discs with your Slurpee or whatever. I don't even remember how I got them.
No.
I remember a cardboard stand, and just like you would see the drinks where, the drinks, you'd pull them out, you would pull out, they would have the different players. And so you would just pick it out, which player you wanted. And then it would have this where you could take with you as a checklist. And each week, or I don't know, each month, each week, they would have different players.
Okay.
And
see, now, Rick, you're an influencer. Now I have to find one.
Yeah, I didn't have a 7-Eleven near me. I had a Sheetz. And they didn't have the Slurpee. They had the Slush Puppy. And the Slush Puppy was better. It was little.
No, man, Slurpees, baby.
Oh, no. If you have a Slush Puppy, you'll never have a Slurpee again.
You get those brain freeze. You're riding your bike home, you can't even see. You're going.
And you'd be chewing on your Topps bubble gum and slipping
Topps bubble gum
and walking and hands full of cards and
you'd look. Okay, it was like a quarter of Slurpee, like a quarter or something like that, and you'd have maybe whatever. Okay, I got enough for a Slurpee and a pack or two of cards.
Right.
Mom, can I have some change?
You'd have to ration.
I would go through my parents' cars, underneath the seat.
Yeah.
Before I went to, maybe I can get another pack, that type of thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
my dad had a can with quarters, change in it. When I was little, they were a quarter. A pack of cards was a quarter. I'd just take a quarter and get me a pack of cards.
Right on.
Well, since you get to that 7-Eleven, whatever store, 7-Eleven. Okay, they have these two pennies for a little piece of candy, or you can get a 10-cent this, and you're trying to figure out, okay, if I get a pack of cards, can I get a Slurpee and a piece of, whatever type thing.
Did they have tax on cards back then? Because I don't ever remember. I remember paying a quarter. I
Yeah,
don't
no.
remember there being any tax.
No, no, no.
They just keep adding all these taxes and never take any away.
Considered food because they had gum, so maybe there was no tax because it was.
I remember the good old days when you didn't have to pay tax on eBay for your cards.
Yeah.
For years.
Now, when you picked up a pack or two or whatever, do you just pick right off the top? I just picked right off the top. I wasn't even thinking about anything.
Yeah,
no one thought about whatever. Or was it like not that you odds or something, just like I'll just pick something, maybe I'll get a mantle.
I actually remember one of my stores where I bought most of my packs. I think they were behind the shelf with the penny candy and stuff. We'd have to ask for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All my thing, like 7-Eleven, just be right there on the counter. So your grubby hands would, grab a pack or
Did you
two.
have your CT scanner?
But I always thought, okay, so if I pick off the top, like if one time I would go to the store and I'd pick off the top, and if it was I didn't get anything that I thought, or a Giants or whatever, then the next time I go, I didn't pick off the top. I would grab in the middle or something. The guy would say, "Hey, what do you know?" Because I thought it would maybe better luck, that type of thing.
Hilarious.
Did you stand outside and ask the guys for their for the cards in their cigarettes?
Yeah, I know, huh? Yeah.
Nah, man, we used to ride our bikes and always look for the top sticker packs, so we could put the stickers in the books.
In what book? You stick them. What do you
like
mean?
Actual top sticker albums.
Yeah.
You just.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we used to peel them off and put them right in there.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
that's how you had to fill that book up.
Yeah.
That's how God intended them to be. But now, grading ruined that.
Yes.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when people ruin rare historic pieces just in order to grade them. Like milk carton with cards on, and you'll see people selling just the milk carton, all the cards cut out. Well, somebody didn't save a milk carton with all the cards cut out for 70 years. Somebody just cut those out. And like the Stan Musial glove, and you'll see people sell the box and the cards are all cut out. The same thing. And it breaks my heart because like that Harmony milk carton, I mean, it might be one in the world. And the Stan Musial boxes, they aren't. And I have a full kids box with Johnny Bench on. And if the slab was more important to me than the card, I would cut that baby out. But my God, to me, having the full box is so much better than having a slab.
Right. And I actually have a full set of like 1980, I forget, Kraft macaroni and cheese, where they had the players on the boxes.
Yeah.
I have 3 full sets of all the guys, uncut, full boxes. They're just folded down.
Yeah.
And I love every single one.
I still have milk cartons with the football players. I have them in my room. I have, I think, 4 of them. The full milk carton, like in full form. I saved those as a kid.
Oh, yeah. Since we're talking food issues.
I don't know how they lasted all this time. Either.
Oh,
yeah. Is that the Rose?
Yeah.
I don't have the full. I don't have the full container, but I actually have that card hanging up in my room.
Metal gold, baby.
I love all those old things, man.
that man, love it.
What do they call those? What do they call those types of cards, Rick?
Oddball.
Oddball. Yeah, I like those oddball cards.
Oh, so fun. Here, since we're talking food issues, I just got this in the mail today. So, 1990, guys. 1990 score, McDonald's.
Yeah, great set.
John Olerud, his rookie year. This actually goes for decent money. It's crazy. It is in Gem Mint 6. I love it. I'm happy to have it. I am 7 cards away from the set.
How many are in that set? I forget.
25.
25.
But the big one is right now, since Ricky passed away, the big one is Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
I
I don't have the Ricky. I never got the Ricky.
for 120 plus raw.
Do you have any of the checklists? Are you collecting those too? They have trivia checklist.
The trivia ones, they're out there. Those actually are decent. I want to complete the cards first and then go after the trivia. That way I'm complete, because if I don't finish that, then I'll lose my mind because I have to do it. But
Yeah, those are pretty scarce for the 90s.
yes, they are.
They were only distributed in Oregon and Idaho.
Yes, 11,
Just certain parts, like very only a few stores.
11 is what
Yeah,
my
That's it.
understanding.
Yeah.
11 restaurants between Idaho and Oregon for a 3-week period. That was it.
They
So-
used to give out so many great cards. You have the McDonald's football. Rick, you have the McDonald's football.
I do. Some actually. The sheets.
No, you would go and you get a meal, and they'd give you a local. Most of them they give you your local team. They had local cards.
I have some Browns ones, I
And then
believe.
they had an all-star. They had an all-pro set.
All pros. Yep.
You ever have those, Rick?
Yeah, I think so.
I have a
Why
complete
don't
set of all pros?
you know what's
but I
interesting?
still have-
And I know money's involved, but to promote the hobby and tops and so forth, they should do some more of these things with McDonald's to milk or whatever it is. I don't know how that all works. I know licensing and stuff like that, but to get kids involved and so forth, I think it would work.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, have you been to a show? I think kids are involved.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't see McDonald's anymore doing this,
No.
or 7-Eleven or milk cartons to.
Oh no, heck no! But the licensing fees are probably so astronomical with the money these guys get today.
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking on tops, for instance, or card companies to promote their product. You get a kid to get involved with picking up a McDonald's card, baseball card or football card, then maybe they might be hooked. So, but anyway, that's
You trying to hook kids?
yeah,
Hook them on cards. We have enough.
hook them on
card
cards, man.
action. Brett, how are you?
What's happening, guys? I see a bunch of good guys on the screen. I gotta hop in.
Oh, are you watching a different live stream?
Oh yeah, I was.
Oh, okay.
I think there's an auction live stream going on right now, but that stuff's too rich for my blood. So
Yeah.
I've never participated. Anybody participate in one of those on here?
Not me.
I don't think so.
I stay out, man. I can't handle it. I
What's
have
up, dudes?
I'm not a big auction fan. I'd rather just buy the card. Give me a price.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. What's going on, Warren and Rick?
Hey, we've never met.
good
I
old
know,
time.
man. We never been on at the same time. I was
Yeah.
just talking to Warren
Oh,
today,
you were?
but
Oh, sorry, Rick. I thought you were on that time we had him on. You weren't on
No.
there that night.
it might have been that. It might have been that time that I couldn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all talking about food issues and stuff. I that super rare McDonald's issue is cool. Me and Warren talk about that one a lot, but I still like this one too. That's a good McDonald's issue with these black borders.
Hold on, let me put you on solo.
Yeah,
gorgeous. I love that set.
that's a gorgeous set. It's not as rare because it's not as regional as that one you're talking about, but
Oh, but
you know,
it's
they had Griffey and Ryan and all these guys. And when I was putting together these runs, I put together a pretty good stack of 9s when I was doing that stuff. But
What is that set?
it's a McDonald's. It's got gold embossing at the bottom, but this one was not as limited and regional as the one he's talking about. So these aren't as
Man, I never
valuable.
even saw those before, Brett.
They're
You were
called
like
baseball.
the king of obscure '90s cards.
Yeah, you guys are obscure older stuff. This is obscure 90s with me. But yeah, it's called limited edition baseball's best. But they had a really good.
I don't say this often, but when I watch your videos, you're always showing me cards I didn't see because I stopped collecting around 91, 92.
Yeah.
And so the 90s, and I started again in 2001. So the
Right.
90s is my blind spot. I wasn't aware of the cards coming out. I wasn't
Exactly.
talking to my friends. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, I had friends that collected with me too, and I was learning from them all the time. We knew what was hot, what wasn't. We went and chased down like the classic games. We knew the cards were in there, but I didn't get to live that in the 90s. So I don't know a lot of these sets. And when it comes to the parallels and stuff like that, inserts,
Yeah.
I'm totally clueless.
Yeah, my jumping on point was 90s, so it kind of was in my wheelhouse. But these are actually 1992. But there's Ricky. You were talking about Ricky. He's got a pretty cool card in there.
Yeah,
But the checklist is really good. So for Oddball, this is the one that I saw first because being a Houston guy. But I saw this Bagwell with the eye black.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so cool. And then I ended up finding out there was a bunch of fantastic cards in the set. But yeah, it's got a great checklist if you ever check it out. And I'm sure raw these things aren't worth much because they're not like that regional set.
Nothing's worth anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man.
You couldn't even give a 52 Mantle away raw. Everybody'd be like, it's a fake.
that's why I would say, like I've said a few times on my channel, I'm like, Brent Richards just takes my money because now
Oh man.
it's
Hey
cheap.
Warren, does he influence you?
Yeah.
Does he influence you?
Am I a bad influencer? I'm sorry, brother.
No, we're good, man.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
I tell you what, everybody on YouTube influences me. I can't tell you how many times I watch a video and I'm on eBay.
Yeah. I love using eBay or YouTube as a tool to discover new things. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, collectors today have it made from the way like when Rick and I used to collect because you just learn about every set now.
Yeah.
You learn about everything.
Yeah.
All
Exactly.
the old 90s, if I really want to pay attention, I can get caught up and start writing these sets down and just watch 90s videos. And there are people that collect everything. So like when I watch your channel, I see all those 90s things. When I watch Rick's channel, I see all the low pop, early turn of the century stuff. And you have TTMers. And any of you ever TTM?
I just got my first
Well,
one.
I know you just did your first one.
But
Do you have that handy?
there's a few guys.
Where did I put it?
Warren, you got to do it. You got to do it, man. Just try it. I'm like, all right, well, tell me how to stop. There's a bunch of channels out there that do it. I know, like Three Good Nerds and Collecting Addicts and other guys out there that do a lot of TTMs. I know Eddie's Cardboard Chaos does a lot of.
Yeah, have you done it?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I'd like to cut art now because it seems like a great bargain way to get autos. And I don't need them authenticated. I'm sending it to you.
But you haven't done it.
No.
Yeah, I haven't done it either.
I had never done it until I had this idea. But I took this photo back 31 years ago in spring training with my dad in 1994 of Ryan Sandberg. And I thought about what if I just sent my photo to him instead of a card. And I just made a card out of it, put it in my slab. But I sent it to him and he sent it back. So my
That's
first
amazing. An
my
old
first ever
photograph.
TTM is on a photo I took 31 years ago.
I bet you would have been sad if you didn't get it back, though.
I know.
That's taking a risk.
It was a little bit, yeah, but I'd heard he was real good about it, and you know, of course, he's out there battling cancer, going through all kinds of stuff. I didn't know if he would
Oh,
be
he is?
still doing it. Yeah, he you know, he beat it, and then it's back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I didn't know if he would still be doing it. I didn't know for sure, but literally like a week later, this thing was back.
That was awesome.
It takes like 14 weeks or 40 weeks or something crazy to get Nolan Ryan, but Ryan Sandberg, man, he signed it, sent it back. If I'd have known I would have been able to have this photo signed when I was a kid. It'd have blown my mind, you know.
Oh, yeah,
I'll tell you, it's really good of those. It's really good of so many players to do that. I mean, they don't
Yeah.
have to do that. They are
No.
under no obligation whatsoever to sit there and sign 100 autographs every day
Exactly.
and get all that mail.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them do it. It's well, I don't know about most, but lots of them do.
And
It's really good of them.
a lot of them charge a lot. He only asks for $10. I put a 20 in there. I just like, man, if he signs it, that's worth a 20 or way more than that to me. So
Oh, for sure.
Warren, would you rather have an autograph or a card? And both is not an option.
No.
Not an autographed card. Which one would you pick, an auto or a card?
I'd rather have a card.
How about you, Brett?
depends on the card, I guess. I'm still of the old school, like a really important, valuable rookie card. I'd rather have, you know, a nice slabbed copy or something that's legit and all that. I would rather have that than the auto. We used to get, you know, like cheap cards autographed, and then, you know, the valuable ones were left alone. But now people are getting like the really good stuff autographed. It's
Right.
totally different.
Rick, would you rather have an auto or a card?
Card. You know, if, let's say I'll go high end here. Let's say a Babe Ruth
Yeah.
ball that looks really nice with his signature or whatever, I think is legit, or it's legit.
Yeah.
Or the same price, whatever Babe Ruth card, I'd probably pick the card over that.
I would pick the card too. I'm primarily a card guy.
And, you know, I miss the old days going to the stadium. You bring cards with you. You go down there after batting practice, whatever, and guys would sign cards. To me, those are the cards that I cherish the most that are signed.
Yeah.
Because I handed them the card. I saw them take it. They held it. They signed it and gave it back to me. To me, that means more than.
Well, I'll tell you what, it would be a fun exercise if you have like 20 of those. To send them all to PSA and see how many don't get authenticated.
That'd be an expensive exercise.
Yes.
Yeah, you get it in person, they say it's fake. That would not shock me at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go blow smoke. Because it's happened to me. I had a card I sent off to SGC, believe it or not, that I saw him sign it. And it came back not authentic. And I'm like, and not, it was a will card,
Oh.
not authentic. I have like autos.
You're cutting in and out a little bit. It looks like
Yeah.
somebody's censoring him because he starts
Yeah.
to go and then it goes quiet.
It's breaking up.
Sorry. So, well, maybe it's time for me to jump off because
Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, Pepino Man tells a story how he got authenticated and went across the hall to PSA and they denied it. Or not authenticated, he got it signed. Walked across and yeah, they wouldn't authenticate it. Questionable authenticity.
Yeah. And then we know they've slabbed some fakes, so it's just, I don't know what to trust with that stuff.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, Breakout Cards did that one video where they were actually faking not only Willie Mays' signature, but they were faking the entire top signature auto card, like the emblem and everything. And PSA graded them. and he went through and showed you how the emblem didn't even match up. Like it wasn't even real.
Wow.
So you got to be careful of that. These anytime there's money to be made, the way there's a new scam invented. I was telling the guys, I think Rick today or yesterday, I think it was this morning. The next scam will be fake Mike Baker stickers. You mark my words. You mark my words, because people are paying up for these Mike Baker stickers.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. But you mark my words, somebody's gonna fake the sticker.
Yeah.
They'll have some shitty looking card, and it'll be a Mike Baker gold. Now, Rick, you just saw a sticker on a card today. You sent us. It was all blurry. Yeah? And it had a Mike Baker gold. That's what made me believe that maybe the sticker was fake.
Yeah. It was on Net 54.
Wow.
And it's actually in Heritage Auction right now. It's a U.S. Caramel Lou Gehrig, 1932, and the registration is way off on this card, and it's an 8.
Did they give it a gold?
Was it a gold, John? Do you remember? I don't remember.
I thought it was.
I think it was a gold.
Oh man, that's even worse.
And I just sent everyone in my text thread, this is what it should look like. Another 8 with a clear registration. So I'm thinking, and even Heritage said it had perfect registration on the description. And it's blurry. You can't even. It's really bad. So John might be right. I can't believe this guy would. It just was way off.
Could be a fake. Warren, I don't know. You're. I think that's your mic banging around. Can you talk?
Yeah, I'm fine, guys.
Oh, okay, I can hear you.
And I cannot speak because I'm actually starting to lose my voice really bad. So I'm actually going to bow out right now, and you guys enjoy. Oh, okay. I'm thankful that you guys asked me to be on. I'm grateful to be on. I'm happy to share the fun times. It's been a great conversation, guys. But yeah, I got to be up at 4 a.m. too. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Warren,
hey, thanks, Warren, man.
Appreciate it, especially at short notice.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friends.
Okay.
We'll see you, Warren.
Guys, bye.
All right. I won't take it personal. No.
So we were talking about potential fake sticker, huh?
That could be easily done. I mean, it's just a little hologram. It's so small. If you can't tell on a big card, you're not going to be able to tell on a little sticker unless you really know what you're doing. So that's definitely something coming down the pike.
They were faking slabs, PSA slabs, so they had, they had to come up with a way that that couldn't happen. If there's money to be made, somebody will fake it.
That's the whole thing. Whenever there's money involved, there's always going to be some kind of fraud in this hobby or anything.
Yeah. What a hobby we're in, huh? Is every hobby like this? Is every hobby like this?
If there's money involved,
faking U.S. coins.
If there's money involved,
postage stamps.
I know there's been fake aged coins and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna collect Beanie Babies.
I was gonna just say Beanie Babies. They fake those all the time.
PSA won't slab them.
Yeah,
so I don't have to worry about. I don't have to get triggered every day of my life.
At least you'd eliminate the PSA frustration. Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, Beanie Babies.
I find it hard to believe there are other hobbies as bad as this one.
Yeah, I don't know about as bad, but there's definitely bad apples everywhere. It's just whenever there's money involved, people try to get over on it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there have been people throughout history, fake documents, right? That were people would forge documents, like historical documents, like the Declaration of Independence or letters from Ben Franklin or whatever. And some people made millions on that before they finally got caught. They have even had like fake, paintings sold to museums for lots and lots of money.
Yep. Yeah. Even the experts couldn't tell them. So, but the technology is getting so good, I think that's getting tougher. But yeah, it's it's just with everything, I think. But this hobby just makes it so apparent with all the internet and the connectivity between all of us. The news gets out real quick.
Yeah, you know, and people are so paranoid um, because there are all these scams and because of grading, and people just are just absolutely paranoid about cards now. You know that everything, if it's not in the slab, is fake, is altered, or whatever. And I'm
Worthless.
telling you right now, I'll do the challenge. I'll do the challenge. I don't know about you, Rick. Have you ever seen a realistic fake 33 Gaudi? I have not. Um,
No.
you know, I would. It would be a fun exercise to go around and have make a wager and have people present me with these cards, and I'll tell you if it's fake or not.
That'd be
Because I've
fun.
never seen a realistic fake of most of these old cards.
You can really tell on the back of the card.
Okay.
First thing I do is look at the back of the card, and that's a
Well,
given.
and some of the cardboard that it was printed on. I mean, you just can't easily fake that. Talk to a printer. You can't unless you got a hold of that paper from
Mhm.
1910 or something.
Yeah.
And even then, the printing wouldn't look the same. And like you take the Gaudis, you could see through the back. How do you replicate something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be able to be done, but in talking to printers, you know, Jason, Everyday Card Collector, is a printer. Is really tough because our printer, they don't look like that anymore.
Yeah, but very few people have the expertise of you two with that stuff. So that you can fool a lot of people out there. They're not trying to fool you two, I don't think.
Well, I mean, they're
'Cause-
fooling them though with you know, the fakes, like the reprints that are the paper stock's not even close to the same. They just dirty it and wrinkle it and make it look beat up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be more afraid of the modern cards. With modern printing, it would be easier to fake a modern card, a Michael Jordan rookie, a star. I mean, that has to be one of the easiest things to fake, and the 86 Fleer is probably just as easy to fake.
That's the problem with those particular cards because they got faked like crazy. So people didn't trust them. PSA stopped grading them for years.
Yeah.
But like you sent me that one the other day that was slabbed, but it even had the reprint date on the back of the card. So I mean, they're missing stuff that's literally obvious.
Well, you know, the minimum qualifications to be a grader at PSA is 1 year of collecting experience. 1 year of collecting experience. Well, how many people who collected for a year knows a Lake to Lake Hank Aaron card? You know, they're hiring them off the street. They don't know cards.
No.
And no, you can't tell me more than one person is looking at these things because it wouldn't get through.
Yeah.
The Lake to Lake, first of all, the Lake to Lake was stapled to a milk cart.
Yeah.
The majority of them are stapled, and then they would cancel them too and hole punch them. And so they do exist without that. I'm of the opinion those are probably fake or from the factory.
From the factory,
because of the way they were distributed, but they will grade, you know, ones that don't have staples or hole punches. I don't trust them. I'll only buy the staples.
Yeah, those
But
aren't distributed. Those weren't distributed. There's no way.
they couldn't have been. But they would be so easy to fake.
Yeah.
And I think they are fake, to be honest with you. But it says right on the back, 1988 reprint. And so if you got one, what I was trying to say is if you got one and it didn't have staple markings, it didn't have a hole punch, and it was that pristine,
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you take an extra look at it? Because that's rare. You're not going to find a pristine one too often.
No.
So that should be a
Definitely not.
red flag right there.
So why are you in that room, John, instead of the regular?
Just so I could see comments and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm on my computer.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Is there any comments?
There's all kind of comments. I just can't see them.
Our eyes are too bad. No, they're there. There's guys.
Somebody wants a Mangini approved eye appeal sticker. They all look great to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
Anybody have any questions or topics they want us to talk about?
Let's see what we got over here. So what do you got that box, Rick?
I was looking for some fake Gaudy cards I have.
Okay. Yeah, if you could
That-
show us the difference, that'd be awesome. But you're saying the
Yeah,
back
I'm
is the
trying to
easiest
find
way?
it.
Okay. Do you have any fake cards, John, that you've kept to just kind of look at with the real ones?
Yep.
Because you could educate on that stuff.
So I have a whole box actually just sitting right here.
Nice.
There's so many
We
on
got,
eBay too. So many that people.
Oh,
pay-
people will sell them to you. Here is a worn. I don't even know why it's in here. This is a worn Connie Mack. This is a rare card. Let me put myself on
Yeah.
so I could show you this.
Let's check it
So
out.
what they do is they will dip these in tea. So it looks legitimate, but if you look on the back, look at the tea stains around the edges. But the
Yeah.
middle is all regular color.
Right.
Like, what the hell? Who would who would fall for that? Like, you got to be a moron.
Where did you get that?
I buy up these reprints if they're cheap. So, people will sell aged reprints because I like to study them.
Okay. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I have yet to find a realistic looking one because the ones that, and I have some good looking ones in the other room of big cards, right? And they look pretty good, but when you really take a close look, the image is fuzzy. Because if you're gonna make a reprint of an old card, what do you need? You need to take a picture of the card, and it's never going to be as clear as the original,
Right.
right? And that's one way you could tell a fake Michael Jordan in some cases, and other cards. And then they have to age it somehow. And the way they do that is they dip it in tea, or there's other things they use, and it gets these little squiggly lines. They try to make it look old and antique-y. But cards don't age that way. You don't have any other cards in your collection that look like that.
Right.
It's real simple. If you get some fakes and put them next to a real one. And the other thing I do is go under a loop. And the print marks, I forget what it's called, like the dot matrix
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You can see those dots with a loop.
Yep.
And they won't match. They won't be the same dots so it's not the same printer. And another little trick is modern ink has the way it is a black light, and it'll be bright. Modern ink will brighten up. Now, this doesn't work all the time. I saw somebody doing it with Michael Jordan rookies, and that card was they were just lighting up the fakes, and then the real one was dull. So if you have an old vintage card and it's lighting up under a black light, it's newer ink. So there's those kinds of tricks, but the paradox is, and I say it all the time, the paradox is, the more you only collect slabbed cards, the more you will never know what a real one looks like, feels like, or smells like. You'll never know.
Doubt.
You'll never know because you will never touch a card ever. And so we are creating a whole generation of people whom are totally reliant on PSA for everything.
Yep. Yeah. That's why they get
And that's what they want, man.
That's what they want. That's what they're getting. 1.2 million cards a month.
Yep.
But like we've talked about, a lot of that stuff is Pokemon. I mean, it's crazy the percentage of that stuff that's going on.
Is Pokemon going to take over sports cards?
I don't know, man. It seems like it is. If you listen to some people, but I hope not.
It sure seems like it, but like when we grew up and we were collecting the baseball cards, the generation after us grew up. Well, maybe after you grew up, playing the gaming cards and stuff, and maybe not buying sports cards as much. And so when they're our age, or as they're coming into their 30s, 40s, 50s, will they be buying those the way we all buy baseball cards?
That's what I'm worried about. But I mean, you and me grew up loving baseball. That's why we collected. We just love the
Yeah.
sport. We love the game. And there are people that love the sport now, but they're playing baseball video games because they love the sport. They're not buying cardboard. So how do you keep it going? I mean, how do you keep the collector's gene going? I don't know the trick to it. It seems like you're born with it or you're not. But you can fall in love with it, but it seems like less people are. And like you said, or they're just going after some big hit, or they're going after Pokemon. I mean, to me, I don't understand it. I mean, those Pokemon characters can't have a good year. They can't do anything that would make me want to collect it. But people are buying that stuff in droves. I mean, it's taking over a lot of the shows.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. Who knows? I mean, if I would have never predicted the COVID boom in sports
Me
cards.
neither.
I mean,
I thought it was the opposite.
It's still hard to believe. I thought it would be the opposite too.
Yeah.
Because I got back into the hobby after a time off in 2014 from the early 2000s, and I was like, man, nobody's going to be collecting cards anymore. I could pick up all these vintage cards so cheap.
Yeah.
They were so cheap in 2014, and I wasn't competing with people. There would be auctions on there for months on end, and I'm like, I didn't want to pay a lot for cards because I just figure I'm just pissing my money away.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I want them, but I don't want to pay a lot for them. Like, why?
Yeah.
Because I want my money too. And I'm like, I could probably get these cheaper in a couple of years. Next to nothing because they're already selling so cheap. And then the boom happened, and now I'm happy to pay more because I don't have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. You got to get them, so it's there.
And I think people have a warm and fuzzy, or at least think these things are always going to have this value, so they're more inclined to pay it. They're more willing to pay it. I think 7 years ago we didn't feel that way, and we weren't so eager to pay thousands of dollars for a card.
Yeah, totally different. Totally different world. But I thought, my business collapsed. I mean, I know a lot of people. I mean, the COVID was terrible. So I thought no one was going to be buying cards. And then every record in the world was broken in 2021 for card sales of all time. And it's like, what is happening here?
It was the exact opposite of what you'd expect.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was nuts. I never thought it would do that. Now they've come way down the last 3 years, but they're not at the levels they were 2014.
Yeah, well, it's like they went from here to here, and now they're back here.
Yeah.
It's not like they went. Many of them went back to where they were.
Yeah.
Many of the vintage cards I buy have. Like I brought up Chick Hafey earlier, like cards like him. But the mainstream cards, the ones you see all the time, those still are nowhere near where they were. Nowhere near.
Exactly. Well, there's a Ruth.
There's a Ruth.
Is that a fake?
That's a fake.
So you could tell by the back?
No, this one's obviously a fake. It's not even close.
It's hard to tell on camera. It doesn't have the same dynamic. When you see these things, they're shiny. They're, they just look new. And the ones that they intentionally beat up, like one thing they'll do is there's a Jackie Robinson Leaf reprint, and it says reprint at the bottom, and you can buy these by the thousands. Yeah. And so what people will do is they'll erase it or make it look like it has paper loss there, or they'll stain it or do like erase it down and stain over it. And that's the first place to look on the back of a 49 Jackie. You look there first to see if there's anything there. If there's any mark there whatsoever, red flag.
Then you're out.
Big red flag.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I could see them doing the paper loss trick. That's pretty genius unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and those Leafs are among the better looking fakes. I could see people getting faked for those. It's like the Michael Jordan rookie, the Wayne Gretzky rookie. These things are fake left and right. Those you want somebody looking at for sure. Those cards. But it's like most cards. What I always say is 99.9% of cards have never been faked or reprinted.
Yep.
And when you're buying a lot of the cards I buy, who's going to fake a 52 Bowman Billy Pierce? Who's going to fake that? What are you going to get out of it?
Yeah, exactly.
My son's Pokemon.
See, there you go.
I got to go through all this stuff, man.
A bag of Pokemon.
I got boxes and.
Rick, let's flip that. And buy
I
some
might be
cards.
rich. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's 30 years
Well,
old
that's all
now,
PSA.
so that's probably prime time, right? 30 years
Rick,
old, way back.
yeah. Rick the Flipper. He's got to flip some Pokemon.
I'll tell
Once
you
I
what,
have
Rick,
something rare.
You just really
Yeah,
earned
yeah.
your name. You just really earned your name breaking out Pokemon cards.
I love it, but it just proves the point.
Hey, Rick, how much would it cost to grade all those?
I don't
A
know.
lot.
I'm too lazy to go through them. That's my thing. I have no
Would
idea.
you even know
I'm
what you're
looking
looking at?
I know that's my problem.
I would have no clue.
Yeah.
I guess you look for one that's kind of shiny, right?
I have no idea. I know Charizard. That's all I know.
That's a
So I have a whole plastic.
If you have a
box.
Charizard from 1996, I think you're in some money.
yeah. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, their first edition, right? The first year, whatever that is.
Yeah, the first ones. But I don't know anything about this modern stuff, but I know people are buying it.
Do Pokemon cards, do they have rounded corners?
That's a good question. I guess Rick would have to answer that one.
I bet they're in a lot better shape if they do.
Yeah, they come that way, so you don't have to worry about it.
No corner dinging. What else is going on in the hobby?
How about I crack this open? Almonds, Giants team set, 2009, 31 cards. Think it's worth
Wow.
anything?
Did you say almonds?
Yeah, emerald almonds.
Oh, really?
Emerald. Yeah.
Don't have any of those.
Man, I don't get cards with my nuts.
No. No.
2009. Think it's worth anything? 2009. We didn't have anyone in 2009. Oh, wait. We won the series in 2010.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 10, 12, 14, right?
Yeah,
grade
Lincecum's
that-
going to be
grade
in there.
that pack.
Hey, I should crack this thing open, huh?
You should.
Should I do it right now?
Yeah, we were talking about food
Yeah, crack
issues.
it-
Now, we all wish we had food issues now.
Crack it open and put it in an album.
Let's see.
You got any 9 pocket pages?
Yep. Hey, these are not. All
I never
right,
even
off the top,
Heard of those?
Tim Lincecum.
Oh, there you go. He was the man.
Nice.
Let's see.
All right,
Who
send that off to PSA.
Now,
Vince
now,
Molina?
now it's Rick the Breaker.
Yeah.
It does have the emerald logo on there. Emerald.
Oh yeah, I've never even heard of those.
Me neither.
That's wild.
Let's see
Well,
here.
Now John
Ooh,
needs
look
one
at
because he
this.
has to have one from
Randy
every set.
Johnson.
Oh
That was
yeah,
It's last year.
I'm only
Yeah.
doing vintage sets. I can't include all these.
you
sets
can't
in
include.
these sets. I'm only doing vintage.
Luckily, you do have modern, but yeah, not
I mean,
the
they make
not the
100
Quest.
sets a year now.
Oh, now
Now,
yeah.
these are nice, man. I'm gonna send these off.
Heck yeah, heck yeah.
Get those graded, baby.
Let's see.
Well worth it.
Yeah, those will probably sell for at least $3 a piece.
After you spend 25 a piece.
I think
Barry
it sounds like a
Zito.
good investment.
Does anyone
Yeah.
had in the history of baseball have a better curveball than him? Barry Zebo.
Zito. Yeah, it was awesome.
That was his curveball was awesome.
He was fun to watch when he first came up. I watched him a lot.
Yeah, Zito, Hudson, and Mulder with those A's, man, that were special.
Let's see.
Barry Zito. He was a bit of a character too.
Bruce
He was.
He
Bochy,
like
Oh yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Oh
They even
yeah.
have all the coaches are in here. It's kind of interesting.
Oh really?
Yeah. The whole
Yeah, I've
team.
never seen those.
well, I mean, they used to do that a lot with the team sets, include all the coaches, or at least
You
the
know what?
manager.
I'm
Manager,
sure I
maybe.
got this. I'm sure I got it at the game. Giants
Okay.
game.
Okay.
I'm sure I did.
Well, where else would you get it?
I don't know.
With your emerald nuts, apparently.
Yeah.
Did you buy that or did they give them away?
Give them away.
It was like
Okay.
baseball
I
cards.
haven't seen that since 2009. I'm looking at this.
Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
used to
find
hand
some
cards
stuff.
to like those. They were small, almost cards you get autographed when you were going into the stadium. And I always hated that they gave them to me when I was walking into the stadium because you
Yeah.
had to keep them.
Yeah, it was hard to
And
keep them
they're
nice.
on the ground. There's shit everywhere, drinks and it's muck and as a collector, I don't want to do that. So I always have to buy a program or a scorecard or something so I could put them in there and keep them.
Exactly. I used to want to keep my program nice, so I would wait till the end
Yeah,
of the
me
game to buy it. But then if it's sold out, you're screwed. So it's like, oh
Yeah.
man. But
Yeah, you never want to buy the program when you arrive, right?
No.
But they would hand those cards to you, and you didn't have a choice if you wanted one.
Yeah. I take the card over the program, and I just tuck the card inside. Yeah, for sure. But they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't give you anything.
No. Maybe a
They charge
bobblehead,
you
and
way
then
more.
you gotta line up for 3 hours to get a bobblehead. So I'm not doing that. So
Is that right?
it's crazy, man. Yeah.
I haven't been to a giveaway night. I don't go to many games anymore because I don't have a stadium here.
Yeah, that's a
Minor
problem.
league, only minor league. But
Are
every
these
once in a
things
while,
worth anything anymore?
Oh man,
headline.
he's really pulling out some stuff now.
he is, man. This is oddball
Hey,
Rick
go
right here.
Rage it. Hey,
Hey,
Flipper.
how about
Flipper.
these? Look at this. How thick this thing
Oh
is.
yes.
Hey,
yes.
send me that.
I got a whole.
Those are expensive. I still use them.
Dude, the 1-inch thick lucite holders.
Look at this thing, man.
Yeah, I love them.
Those things are killer.
They're
Now-
great for like tickets and stuff. And
Well,
they're
these
great
are
for,
all 1
they're great
inch.
for stamps and stuff, real thin stuff.
Then
Wow.
what did he find? He found a
No, I'm just
T206
saying,
Honus
man,
Wagner.
these things
Oh,
are huge.
yeah, they're
I know.
know, it's a
I
brick,
love
man.
those are like $23 a piece now.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I got to go online. I got a whole.
I'll give you 15 a piece.
I got a
Yeah,
whole tub of these.
You have a
That's
whole
shipping.
tub of those?
Yeah,
How much
different
did you pay for
sizes.
those?
Different sizes.
Are they from the 90s?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
think
gotta
this.
be.
Yeah.
My God, you still have those from the 90s.
Hey, you never
I don't
know
know.
what you find.
I shouldn't talk. I have all kind of old supplies.
Me too. I have boxes of them.
Hey Rick, why don't you go into your wife's closet and see if she has any designer purses we could sell?
Yeah. You don't want to get in that kind of trouble.
I did that with my wife. She only wants one purse, and she's not big on. She only uses one, and she had all these purses in the closet. And I wanted to buy some cards, so I was like, "Hey, can I sell these on eBay? Like, you don't use these." And they weren't even in her closet; like they were in an extra closet. So she let me. So I sold those
Wow.
in my cards.
All right, now that we're on that subject, your guys' video has been cracking me up. So I know she doesn't go on camera, but how did you talk her in to start doing these series of funny videos?
I think it was her idea.
Oh wow!
We would have these conversations, and she's like, "Record this," and I can't remember if it was her idea or my idea, but one of us was like, "Oh, we need to record this." Like,
okay.
and so when we would start to talk about cards, if it was going in that direction, I would hit record and just aim it at me, like so she didn't know, kind of thing. Yeah,
It's hilarious, man.
it's fun. She's enjoying it, and she gets to participate in the hobby with me that way.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's real good. I don't miss one of those, man.
We're sitting at our restaurant, and I prop that up, and the waitress is looking at us funny, and we're like, "We're just making a quick video for YouTube."
Yeah.
And we just sit there and talk about, because those are the conversations we legitimately have.
That's hilarious.
I think that's what's funny is anybody who's a collector, their wife, that's how she is, or their husband, and you know, we all go
Yeah.
through the same things, right?
Yeah, I think relatable humor is the best kind. So it's what makes it funny. But yeah, it's awesome. She's sitting there. She's sitting there when you're walking in with the new packages. That's just too funny.
Yeah.
But that's
Your
awesome.
impersonation of me was fun.
That was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Oh
You had
man,
it was scary. You had me down pretty good.
and we almost had your wife fooled on that one. So that was
I
pretty
know.
good.
She's like, "What am I looking at?" I'm like, "That's not me."
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't even remember what made me want to start doing that, but it was just something. I got an idea and I just did it. So
Well, I remember Greg Midlife told me that he
oh
had a
yeah,
friend that did an impersonation, and I'm like,
yeah,
"Would you mind if see if he'll allow you to send it to me? I got to see this." And he
that's right.
texted to me one day. I
That's
was like,
right.
"My God, that's spot on."
That's right. Yeah, he was saying something about I don't know if John Mangini likes me or something like that, and then you like brought him a awesome golf cart at the National or something, and I'm like, so I made this video to send to him, being you, just saying, hey, look, man, we're buddies. You know, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, we're gonna go live on Monday night.
Oh yeah, you got a couple other guys coming on with you, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yep. I hope he's recovering well from his surgery.
Yeah, I hope so. I heard from him a little while ago. He's home doing well, so we're good on that. But yeah, he'll be definitely good by then. But yeah, that's gonna be fun. So you get to talk about your favorite subject, grading. So
Honestly, I'm tired of talking about it. It'll be
I
fun
know,
though. It'll be
I know.
fun.
I'm teasing you.
I know. It's just like it is what it is. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
The thing is when you talk grading, it's nowadays, and it didn't used to be this way, but nowadays it's like talking politics or religion.
yeah, it's almost that way. It's
And
very
you offend people if you point out, like, no matter what I post 10 huge errors that they make, right? And people are like, well, it's human error. Like no matter what I post, they give them a pass.
yeah,
And I just don't get that part of it.
yeah.
They're
There's
like,
just
they're likely to miss one. And no, I just gave you 10. And that's just what I found today. You know?
yeah. Yeah, and if my personal experience with the last couple of years wasn't so bad, you know, I used to be skeptical of people too, but no, they really stink. And I remember when it started though, when you know '98 when it really ramped up. I mean, it was exciting. It was exciting at the time, but now it's just not anymore. It's just too many problems with it. It's too costly. I mean, when you could send some stuff in for $6 a card, you know, maybe get some value out of it, you know, that was one thing. But when you're spending 25 and you can't sell it for 10, just
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, how about George was telling us all the cards that he's had damage there, and he's always
Yep.
calling them and trying to get them to fix something or get money back or whatever. And I'm like, why the hell would you keep sending to them? That
That's my
sounds like a
problem.
nightmare.
That's my problem. They damaged 3 of my cards on the last couple submissions, and I'm like, and they don't really do anything about it. They really don't. Dealing
Well, I
with
mean,
it,
that's why I stopped doing it because I don't want them touching my cards. I mean, when I found out that the qualifications are a year of collecting, I
yeah,
mean, and these are the people that are handling my rare cards I might send in. Oh, hell no.
yeah.
Hell, and then I'm hearing all these people that they're getting their cards damaged, and I don't want the money. I don't want the money. I want the card,
I wanted the
and it
card.
scares me to death to send in like a rare card that I may never find again,
Yeah,
or something like that.
can you imagine sending something in that you couldn't replace? It just I can't even imagine it. There's no way.
Well, I had that one rare card I may never replace stolen at UPS, and that's the other thing. You have the risk of going and the risk of coming back.
That's the thing too. And it's with everybody. It's with ComC. I've got 2 cards I just got from ComC. They're completely damaged in the holders. It's not shipping damage. They just sent bad cards. Trying to get them to do something about it is impossible. They don't care.
No, they don't
So,
care.
so it's just it is what it is. You're taking a risk anytime you buy anything that ships to you.
Well, the other thing PSA cult members get really angry about is if I ask for qualifications. When I say that, shouldn't we know the qualifications of their graders? Now, I'm not saying I need to know the name of the guy grading my particular cards, but like a company that has experts, any company in the world, like that has qualified experts, list them on their website. They're proud of them.
Yeah.
Look who we have. These are experts. we're proud to have them join our. Not with the grading companies. You can't know who grades them.
No.
You
PSA.
you can't know because they don't want you to know because they don't have qualifications. They've been collecting for a year.
They don't want you to know anything. They're tight-lipped about literally everything. I mean, when it came out a couple years ago that they only looked at cards for about 20 seconds a piece, I mean, that was eye-opening. I mean, there's it's no wonder they're making all these mistakes.
Yeah, it's like when you go to the doctor and you get X-rays. Well, we're going to send this off to this expert X-ray reader, radiologist, right? Sure. Oh, well, who's the radiologist? Oh, well, you're not allowed to know that.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just give you the results.
It's some guy off the street anyway, so we don't want to tell you about it. It's like
It's going to Tijuana, Mexico.
yeah, card. It's just all the risk now. That's the only problem with the hobby. It's just everything's a risk now. It used to be just fun, but once money
Yeah,
gets
and
involved,
the grading companies are so overwhelmed. If you're grading 1.5 million cards a month, where the hell are you going to find all these graders?
yeah,
You know, and
Yeah.
it's too many. So it's not necessarily their fault,
nope.
unless they start turning things away. But nobody with half a brain believes that they can grade 1.5 million cards a month accurately with all expert graders.
That's the thing. There's A, B, C, D teams. I mean, you might get the D guy when you send yours in. You never know. They can't be all the same qualified. It's impossible. There's too many of them.
And with the errors I've seen, there ain't no way more than one person is looking at that card.
Yeah.
It was Jeff Wilson just showed a Beckett Michael Jordan card. It was slabbed upside down.
Really?
And you're telling me two people looked at it?
Oh man.
It's like that Hank Aaron we were talking about. Two people looked at that and didn't see the 1988 reprint written on the back. Two people. No way.
Yeah. Yeah, it literally says it on there.
Or the Colgan's chip that Rick showed me with a pinhole in it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, two people looked at it, really.
Yeah.
They didn't see that big pinhole.
Yeah, exactly. So did you catch that, Rick?
Did I catch it or did John? Yeah, I caught it, huh?
Yeah, Rick
I
says
remember there was a whole.
source. He sends me all this stuff.
Yeah,
Because all he does is look
there
at
was
cards
more
all
than
day.
one. There was like multiple different Colgan's chips that had the same pinhole,
Wow.
and I think they were all graded high grade, like 8s and 9s.
And you could tell it was a pinhole because it was identical on the front and
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Like it
Okay.
wasn't just a spec. But even
Okay.
if it was a spec, it wasn't. That would have taken it away from being a 9. Because that tie cup you sent me had other flaws. I mean, I collect them. I have 2 of those die cups, and my
Okay.
images are totally clear. And those had all kind of surface issues, and they gave it a 9 plus the pinhole. And you're telling me 2 people looked at it, and then people will say, well, if it's a high end card, 2 people will look at it. A Colgan's chip tie cob. I mean, that's not worthy of 2 people looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah. It
I
definitely.
mean, it's not $1 million card or anything, but still, if 2 people aren't looking at that, they ain't looking at your 2021 card
Nope.
or your 1980s cards.
No. There's no doubt. It's a mess. But like you said, there's so many getting sent in. I don't think they can get that many experts. I don't know how they do it. I'm not saying I could do it. I'm just saying it's not where I would be sending right now.
Yeah, it always blows my mind. Some of these old rare cards that Rick and I collect.
Yeah.
These people never saw them before who were grading them. How do they even know what they're supposed to look like? I mean, if there's 3 graded or something,
Yeah.
and they have a year experience or even 2 or 3 years experience.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know. They never saw the card before.
And now you're supposed to use an app to scan the card to let the AI identify it. I mean, no way.
Is that what they're doing now?
Yeah. Yeah. They want you to use the PSA app to scan. You need to watch Brian, the High Pop Professor's last couple videos. He's tricking them with all the different variations and stuff. It's pretty interesting. But yeah,
I saw a little bit of that. I didn't totally understand what I was doing.
they can't catch that stuff. But I wouldn't be trusting them with that. I will identify it, and then they can agree with me. But yeah, it just shows you people don't know what they have. They don't know what to call it, so they're just.
I look forward to the days when we don't treat baseball cards like diamonds anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how we get back to the old days. I don't know if we can. I think
Yeah.
Pandora's out of the box, and
Yeah, it'll be time for some of us to just move on and turn it over to the new people that want to, enjoy this stuff.
someday. Hopefully no time soon. At least we can enjoy what we have, and we don't have to worry about that. But it's maddening when you try to think about all the problems. But there's still all the good stuff. So we gotta put our minds on that.
Yeah, the thing is you're like, it's like you're not even part of the hobby, or you're not legitimate if you don't buy into all this bullshit that goes on.
Yeah,
You know what I mean by that?
yeah. Some
It's
some
like,
people make you feel that way.
yeah, like some guy has, well, you'd look at the Grail farm, and the people that bought that knew what they were looking at,
Yeah,
right? The dealer didn't, but he brought in people that did. But all these flippers and everything that are brand new or newer, and they don't know this stuff. They wouldn't even make you an offer, probably, or it'd be super low, because you know it's like leprosy to have a card that's not in a PSA slab. It's
yeah.
almost like leprosy now. No one wants to touch it. They want to get as far away from it as possible.
And it's got to be a 10. I mean, an 8 is a really nice card. I mean, even in modern, like people don't realize how hard 90s stuff is to grade. It's impossible. It's not like something out of a pack now. But I mean, an eight is a really nice card. A 9 is a great card. But if it doesn't say 10 on it, then no one wants it.
Yeah, but can you even tell the difference? I mean, '90s cards. When
It's
you look
very
at
tough.
them,
No,
when you say that
I
you
used
think,
to, but now they don't even make sense what they grade. So no.
that's the thing. If you can't tell the difference, you're literally just buying a number.
You're
Then,
buying the number for sure.
if the card looks the same to you, if
Yeah.
it looks the same to you, it's just I just don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the frustrating thing for a collector.
You
Like
don't
me.
care what it looks like. You don't care what it looks like to you,
Yeah.
as long as somebody else is giving it that number.
As
That's
long as they
that's
give
all,
it that
that's
number.
what you care about.
Right.
And to me, that means you don't. I don't know. Like, you don't care about the card at all.
Yeah, exactly. And it took the fun out. Like I used to, do this stuff. I used to, I want 9s of all these inserts. I think it'd be fun. They're $6 a card, or you buy them cheap, already graded, whatever. But now it's impossible. You can't do that kind of collecting anymore. So
But you're a big card grader with PSA,
I
right?
used to
I
be.
mean, you
I,
you
I
you
used
have
to
a lot
send
of.
off. I used to send off, but now I just buy them graded if they're cheap enough. But I don't buy them overpriced anymore because there's no way to do it. It used to be cheap to do this stuff, and it used to be I knew what I was doing. I would know if it was going to come back a 9.
Well, if they have 1.5 million submissions a month, they could raise their prices substantially and get that down to 800,000, make the same amount of money, and do far less work.
Yeah,
If you
that's
think
kind of
about it,
that's kind
because
of what
there
they
will
did.
still be 800,000 sending them in.
That's kind of what they did in COVID. I mean, it was $50 a card if you won the lottery to even be able to send off to them. So they've done that before. They've stopped it just by raising the prices and stopping their factory because they were so backed up. And then you had to enter your name in to get on the lottery to be able to win a spot to send in 20 cards, and it'd be $50 a card. That's what happened during COVID, and they just raked in the money. But now they don't know how to grade, and it's too expensive, and no one's making money on this stuff when they're sending stuff off. So I don't know why it continues to happen at the rate that it happens. It just boggles my mind. Everybody getting these back. Just watch some PSA reveals. I mean, they're getting killed.
Yeah, but it's all seller. It's not all sellers, but it's the majority are sellers. So they have to have the PSA. They
Yeah.
have to have. That's how they have to do it to sell. And then you have these people telling people to buy cards on eBay and have them graded. And if they're tens, you're going to make all this money. And
Yeah.
I was just watching the guy saying this, and he had a guy call in, and he's like, "You're so awesome, and you're so smart, and blah blah blah. And I tried your program, and I need your help because none of mine got tens." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's because it's a stupid ass idea." But the guy, instead of saying your system sucks, I didn't get any tens, because we all know that people are selling their flawed cards raw now on eBay. That's what they're doing. And so he didn't get any 10s. And instead of saying, you're full of shit, he's like, well, help me do it better. Help me do it like you. Like, I'm like, you just proved this guy's full of shit and you're still buying into it.
Yep.
Just blows my mind. People are such sheep in this industry, in this hobby.
There's a bunch of them, and that's the thing. You can get on video, and you can send off 1,000 cards to one of these big guys, and you can show the 100 of them that you got back in 10s and act like you get all 10s, but it's not the reality of it. You can pretend you're an expert pretty easily if you have the money. But
the concept isn't wrong. If you're able to buy raw and get them 10s, they will sell for a lot of money, and you can make money.
Yeah.
The problem is I think we all now know, and more so over the last year or so, in my opinion, because I buy on eBay. I'm not trusting these things that are being sold to me. You got guys with 14 feedback. They're new flippers. They got 100 feedback. If you're looking for modern cards, try to find somebody with more than like 114 feedback. It's really hard to do these days. Everybody has 30 feedback, 49 feedback. And if they are new flippers starting out, clearly from their feedback, they're newer. They're sending them into grade, and if they don't come out of 10, they're cracking them and selling them raw. People are doing videos telling you to do that. Yep. Or they're not sending them in at all because they're flawed, and they know that. So they're not going to send them in because they know they won't get a 10. And so you are now, my assumption is I'm buying flawed cards. Now, I say that with modern mostly because flippers tend to stay away from the vintage stuff that I buy, but there's all these modern cards. And that's a world we live in. PS for the sellers for the flippers. It's like when you go to a card show and you see kids and they rip packs. They pull up, they get a pull, right? They get a hit. What's the first thing they do? They go over to the dealer and sell it. That's the first thing they do. They're lined up at Jeff Wilson's table to sell him their hits. They ain't buying these because they want to hold them and collect them. And that's unfortunately for me, the way I view it is that's what PSA has turned into. PSA has turned into throwing away the base cards and selling the hits.
Mm-hmm. But what happens if everybody's like us three and we're not buying any new product and nothing new gets bought and opened? I mean, that isn't technically good for the hobby either. So I don't know the answer.
Right. That's not good for the hobby either.
Yeah. And I don't understand $2,000 boxes with 5 cards in it. That stuff is just crazy, but it's being done. But if people aren't opening all these packs that you and I aren't.
But that's the breakers. Right, the breakers can afford to do that, charge everybody a smaller amount, and it's that gambling mentality.
Yeah, they're saying 40% of all cards new go to breakers now, so it's a huge chunk.
I want to tell you something, and it's sad. I feel bad about it. I did a satire saying I was an addict, and I was talking about cards the way somebody would talk about drugs, and it was meant to be funny.
Yeah, I remember that video. I remember that.
I did it 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I still to this day get people commenting how they're addicted and how they lost their wife and their home and whatever. It's so sad. And people are commenting about breaking, but they can't stop themselves. They're just addicted to these breakers. And that's what's happening. I mean, that's who's opening those boxes. Your average Joe like Rick and me and you, we're not opening $2,000 boxes.
We're not opening really anything new, and maybe a fun little thing here and there, but we're not opening new product. But yeah, it's with sports period though. I know people that can't play golf without betting on it. I know people that can't watch football without having something riding on it. I mean, the gambling in sports now is just a huge thing. So it's not just sports cards. It's just kind of the whole mentality.
It's always been a thing.
Yeah,
but it wasn't now sports cards.
Now it's accepted, and the leagues are getting in bed with it now that they know they can make money. They used to be anti-gambling everything. Obviously, we know the Pete Rose story, but and you're still not supposed to gamble within a game. But I mean, everybody's doing it out there, and now they see they have a piece of the pie. They say it's eventually going to get to the point where you can type in something on your chair in the stadium and bet on just about every play.
Well, you see DraftKings when you watch games.
Yeah.
I mean, they're promoting DraftKings.
Yeah. Yeah. They're making money off of it. So like we said, when money's involved, changes everything.
Hey,
What do
I
you
need
think,
to get
Rick?
going. I need to get going.
Yeah, I need to get going too. Any
All right.
final words?
That's cool.
Rick?
That's cool. I probably should too, but I appreciate you guys letting me on. Good to finally be on with you, Rick.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a while just watching from the outside. But John,
Hey, Rick,
good to
go
see
find
you.
those purses.
I will right now.
Good luck with that, guys.
All right, man.
See you, man.
Okay.
Thanks for jumping on.
All right.